guys, and welcome to BlueTube, where we talk all things blue. And welcome to quite an unexpected video for today. And before I go on talking about this, there's just a few things that I have to mention. Firstly, there will be a match review of the Walsall game out probably on Thursday, for the reasons that are explained in the Maccabi Tel Aviv match review video. So go check that out if you haven't. That video will be coming out as scheduled, so this is just kind of an unexpected video, as I said. And secondly, before I get into this, I'm sorry if my hair seems a little bit crazy right now. It's because I was literally just about to go to sleep, because at the time of filming this, it's actually about 10:30, nearly 11 o'clock in Dubai time. So I am sleepy, so I'm going to try to keep this video short as well, just so I can go to sleep. But I was lying there, I just going through my Twitter feed on my phone, right? And I read breaking news: Chelsea FC. Eva Carneiro leaves Chelsea FC, and I couldn't believe it. And initially I was like, "Whoa, this is completely out of the blue." This is completely unexpected because the whole saga was really a month ago. I will get to recapping everything that's happened, but. In fact, let me just get to that right now. For all of you Chelsea fans, I'm sure you remember this, and I'm sure you know who she is and just everything like that. But just those of you neutrals or supporters of other clubs, such as Barcelona, known for trolling, or Arsenal, and Foot Flasher. In fact, tell me, everyone watching right now, pause the video, go down, tell me what club you support. It'll be really interesting to know, what my audience is kind of made of. And I know the majority are Chelsea fans, but it's always fun to see fans from different clubs watching. But anyway, what was I talking about? This thing. Yeah, this is pretty important. Eva Carneiro, if you guys remember, about a month ago, or a bit more than a month ago, I think it was the Swansea game, which is the opener of the Premier League season, where Courtois got sent off, so we were down to 10 men, and in the very end, Hazard went down to the ground, and Eva Carneiro and John Fern rushed onto the pitch, which meant that Eden Hazard had to come off, meaning that Chelsea were left with 9 minutes for a brief period of play. And Mourinho got incredibly agitated. He got furious, which is clearly evident from his just big reaction from the touchline. Get some water. Yeah, so he got furious then, and after the game, of course, he said she was very naive, she doesn't understand the game. And then, of course, after that, I made a whole video about this, by the way. Just search, go to my channel, scroll down, there's a video about Eva Carneiro where I explain everything in a lot of detail. So Eva Carneiro went to her Facebook account, posted thank you for the support for everyone. And then eventually Chelsea FC kind of downgraded her position in the club so that she couldn't be at match days, she couldn't be at the games, she couldn't be at the team hotel, and just everything she did was restricted to Cobham, which is Chelsea's training ground. And really, as soon as it happened, I should have really seen this coming, because she is a very, very qualified medic. She has been at the club, at Chelsea, for the last 4 seasons or so. Maybe the last 12, the last 4 seasons. And she's very, very qualified, and qualified enough to, if she's qualified enough to be the medic at Chelsea FC, she's really qualified to be the medic at any other club in the world, to be honest. So for her to work at a downgraded position, I don't think she was going to be happy with that. And now, obviously she isn't. She has left the club, and it actually hasn't been confirmed or anything about what she's going to do now. It's not like she left Chelsea, she joined another club immediately, nothing like that. Right now, she's just kind of, not at any club. And apparently, according to this BBC Sport article, which will be linked in the description down below, she's considering her legal position now, because there are a lot of speculation, especially in that week after the Swansea game. They say, Mourinho sexist, Chelsea sexist, and all these things. Which, to be honest, I said this in the other Eva Carneiro video as well. I think that's ridiculous because, John Fern received exactly the same treatment as Eva Carneiro, and I think it's just Eva Carneiro's big status, her big social status, that maybe prompted a bigger reaction from the media, from the press about her. But John Fern hasn't left the club, I don't think. I'm pretty sure. But he did receive the exact same things as Eva Carneiro. She's not allowed. John Fern's not allowed on match days. He's not allowed to come to the team hotel. His job is restricted to the common training area, that kind of thing. And so let me give you my initial reaction at this. As I said, this news literally broke out like an hour or two ago. And as I said, I was gonna go to sleep just a few minutes ago, so I am still half asleep. But let me try to get to this video. So let me firstly say something about this whole thing. Firstly, what should I say? I don't know where to start. Okay, let me just say, if Eva Carneiro was an ordinary medic, the speculation or the media would not be concentrating nearly as much as they are right now. If Eva Carneiro was, just an older person, or if she was a man, if she wasn't Eva Carneiro, this whole thing wouldn't have exploded. In my opinion, really, even after the Swansea game, it would have been completely silent. All of this would have went under the radar. However, the fact is Eva Carneiro is a very high-profile person. She is known by the public a lot. She, as I said, is very, very high-profile. So I guess if anything big was to happen to her, it was kind of inevitable that something that it would kind of blow up. And I think this is shown by John Fern, because John Fern, as I said, received exactly the same things, and the press haven't covered him, and no one cares about John Fern. In fact, actually, I don't know in fact, but John Fern received exactly the same thing, but the media haven't covered him at all, really. It's all been about Eva Carneiro. And as I said, if it had been anybody else, such as John Fern, this whole thing, I wouldn't even be making this video right now. Which is my first thing about it, which is what I want to say, because firstly, because a lot of people from other clubs will be looking at this and thinking, Chelsea are a disgraceful club, Mourinho is disgraceful, Mourinho is sexist, he's stupid, he's horrible, and all these kind of things. But really, this is just, this kind of just a staffing matter that really wouldn't have blown up to nearly, I said nearly like a billion times there, which wouldn't have blown up like this if it had been anybody else. But also, there is something that I do have to say. I think Chelsea FC have handled the situation quite poorly. And that is something that I have to admit, because Chelsea obviously knew that she was a high-profile person. Chelsea, Mourinho and Chelsea aren't stupid. They know that, if they do something big, the press is going to cover it because of her high profile. And I think it was really a bad move on Mourinho's part to come out after the game and say the words that he did, saying, labeling her as naive and saying that she doesn't understand the game. I think, in fact, that was naive of Mourinho to do that, because, I think if he hadn't said that, if he had just kind of let it slide past, but done exactly the same things afterwards, after the game, firstly, Chelsea and Mourinho wouldn't be being labeled as horrible and stupid and all these kind of things. But also, Also, it wouldn't have blown up as much in the media, in the press, and maybe, Eva Carneiro wouldn't have had the same reaction to this whole thing. Maybe she wouldn't have posted on Facebook, thank you for your overwhelming support, and maybe she wouldn't have been kind of downgraded of her position in the club. But this is also something that I want to talk about. Was what she did really worth, was it really deserving of being downgraded in the first place? And this is where a lot of people, and in fact, nobody's mixed on this. In fact, I think 99% of people, including me, agree that the actions that Chelsea took were rash, based on what we think that it was based on that game alone, and that game purely, if that was the only reason as to why her position was downgraded, and along with a billion other people that have spoken out about this, including like FIFA and including the FA, including high-profile organizations all around the world, they've spoken out and said, we fully support Eva Carneiro. What Chelsea did is wrong and stupid, and I completely agree. However, this is what I truly believe, that this whole thing of Eva Carneiro being downgraded, her not being allowed in team hotels, her not being allowed at match days, is not purely because of that incident with Hazard in Swansea. I think there is a different reason to this. I think I've said this all along throughout the entire summer. If you guys remember the transfer talk days, oh man, those were the days. I had a lot of theories. I had a lot of crazy conspiracy theories, and one of them was just that things internally at Chelsea are not going well right now, and the whole, just everything that was happening at the club supported this. There were fights going on in the club. You know, the Mourinho and Abramovich had a falling out. You know, Chelsea weren't signing anybody that Mourinho wanted. Blah blah blah. Chelsea's performances were terrible. We were losing games. The board wasn't happy. Mourinho wasn't happy. The players weren't happy, and there was a bunch of just things being thrown out in the press. And I fell for it, and I still do believe it. I still do think that over the summer there was something internally at Chelsea that went wrong that we still don't know about, that we probably will never know about. But I think that it was there, and it somehow probably involved Eva Carneiro, which is, in my opinion, the true reason why she was kind of downgraded of her position at Chelsea. You know, I feel like in a way maybe Mourinho did the thing that he did on Swansea on purpose, so that he can give a reason to the media of why Eva Carneiro was downgraded. Because if Mourinho, imagine Chelsea just randomly decided to strip her of her role at Chelsea and just say, you know what, you can't come to match days, you can't come to team hotel. And then the media would look at that and think, you know, what are Chelsea doing? Without any valid reason at all. At least this way, Chelsea had a reason so that they could tell to the public. But in private, I still do think that there was something else that went wrong. And what is that one thing that could have gone wrong? And this is, from here, it's complete speculation. There's nothing set in stone here. And the reason I'm telling you this is because, not because I believe that it's true, not because they are true, because they're probably not, but because, you know, I want to tell you guys just different theories, I guess, that are out there. And one of the things that was speculated by the press a month ago throughout that whole saga was that apparently Eva Carneiro had a thing with a Chelsea player, that she had a thing. I don't know how else to put it. And you know, a lot of people are joking around saying it's John Terry, JT strikes again. But you know, that was a genuine theory being thrown out by the press, that she was having relations with with one of the Chelsea players, which is this, of course, not good for the club, not good for the players, not good for the team. And apparently that could have been a reason that contributed to this whole saga. Another thing that's being thrown out is this, and I have to be very, very careful of how I pick my words here, because I don't want to come across as sexist. I don't want Chelsea to come across as sexist. I don't want Mourinho to come across as sexist. But this is merely a theory. Take that into account. Because she is a woman, because let's not deny she is an attractive woman, which is why she has such a high profile in world football, I guess. Apparently, behind the scenes at Chelsea, it was kind of acting as a distraction to the players. And I personally think that this theory is ridiculous. But it was kind of acting as a distraction to the players. It was getting into the players' heads. And it was having a negative impact on the players' training, a negative impact on the players' performances, that kind of thing, which I think is completely ridiculous. And I have some very, very good reasons why. Because Eva Carneiro has been at the club for the last 4 seasons. You know, if that was going to become a problem, it would have been a problem in the first or second season, not in the 4th or in the 5th season, which is now. You know, it wouldn't have taken that long for something like that to come out. But, you know, the press does what the press does, I guess. And apparently that is it. And the thing is, there has been a huge emphasis at Chelsea of, you know, let's get down, let's not joke around, let's, you know, not get distracted, let's, you know, let me give you some examples. It has been confirmed by many sources, and you guys probably saw this last week and had a good laugh about it, that apparently Mourinho has banned banter at the Cobham training ground. Yes, he has banned banter, so the players can't joke around. And the whole thing is kind of saying, we need to be serious about this. We're losing games. We're not happy. Let's put our heads down and get working. And that seems to be the kind of mentality that Chelsea are kind of having now. Before the Maccabi game, of course, 2 back-to-back home wins, one against a very, very big team in Arsenal. 2 very, very big wins for us, I guess. So that has paid off. And also, Mourinho got his haircut. And if you guys have been following Chelsea for a while now, you'll know that whenever Mourinho gets a haircut, it symbolizes that he's going into war mode, that he's willing to fight, anybody, that he's willing as I said, just fight. It's a shift, it's a symbolization of his mentality, of his warrior mentality that he's trying to instill into the players, and that kind of has been a theme over the last few weeks. But I feel like I've just kind of tangented way off the topic here. Let me get back to the topic. This video's been long enough. I'm probably gonna end it here now. So guys, just to let you guys know, some news that has broken out literally in the last few hours. Chelsea FC Eva Carneiro has left Chelsea FC. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're a Chelsea fan, are you happy? Are you sad? I'm personally quite sad about this news. But to be honest, I was really, really sad back in Swansea, and that was really when my main sadness was, I guess. Because really, since then, we haven't seen her on the bench, we haven't seen her on the sidelines, so I guess it's kind of been a transition for us as fans. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. From an outsider's perspective, if you support any other club, firstly, tell me what club you support, but secondly, tell me what this looks like to you. Because I'm really curious, because I feel like if this was happening at another club, let's say, Barcelona or Real Madrid or any other top club in Europe, I'd be looking at this thinking, there is something going on behind the scenes at that club. There is something going wrong at that club. That's what I think that's what I'd be thinking. But I'd love to know what you guys think. And that kind of wraps the video for today, guys. As I said, the match review of Walsall will be coming out on Thursday. Hopefully we do get a win. But until then, stay blue.